right, greetings and salutations, everyone. Welcome to the Crypto Truth, where I give you the truth as I see it. So, I decided that this was going to be a very, very different video. And you guys, please tell me how you like it, or if you don't like it. First order of business, I decided that due to the holiday season, that I was going to create a 12 Days of Christmas song that I receive, hoping that I receive from Holo. So I do hope you guys enjoy. On the 12th day of Christmas, Holo gave to me 12 Holo Mondays, 11 clutter friends, 10 projects working, 9 ducks are swimming, 8 devs are speaking, 7 hosts are happy, 6 countries adapting, 5 exchange listings, 4 crying fangs, 3,000 hollow fuel, 2 hollow ports, and an AMA for clarity. On the next order of business, I really want to explain some things. Just to let you guys know, I ran out of breath a lot. I'm not really a good singer, so it is what it is. But anyway, it was fun. So we got a lot going on the next couple of months, right? The first thing is obviously, as in my previous videos, they're having the Holochain RC on the 15th. What exactly that is, I have no idea. But we do know that the beta is going to be in January, or at least supposed to roll out in January. Now, I am hoping that some of the things that has happened within the last week and a half or so got me really asking a lot of questions. Obviously, we still have a lot of disagreements on Twitter. That's just going to happen. But I am concerned about the new people coming into the space. Now, if you're new to Holochain or the hot token, I really advise you to do your research, or the Holo organization. I really advise you guys to do your research. Please understand that I've been making videos for a very long time. If you guys can go back and look at some of the videos, I know some of them are kind of cringe. I get it. I'm not much of an entertainer. That's not really my thing. I'm more of a thinker, if you will. And so I'm concerned that a lot of new people are going to come in and not really understand exactly what's happening within this crypto space as a whole, and exactly what's happening with Holochain. So if you're new here, please go back, at least do your own research, find out what's going on, and why Holochain is a very unique and special project. Not because the price is going up or going down, but because of the fact that its technology is, how should I say, cutting edge, and that's putting it lightly. So yeah, I'm concerned. One of the things that I do want to explain or talk about is, remember I made a video about the green paper, right? I did that about 5 months ago. And I was listening to it over again, and I was listening to me read. I read the whole entire, the green paper, the front page. Anyway, I read it, and I was thinking to myself, I'm like, I'm pretty on point with a lot of this stuff. And the reason why I say that is because recently Arthur Brock stated once again that Holochain or the hot token is not listed in the is not listing on major exchanges here in the United States. Now, after he said that about, basically they're talking to regulators and they're trying to, get a listing. And he said something interesting, and I'm going to go back I'm going to go back to, hopefully I can find out where it was. But he stated that back in the AMAs, they stated that they're in talks with regulators about a Coinbase listing or whatever listing. And as I stated before, I've said this before, if Holochain is waiting on the US regulators, you please do not hold your breath, because you will be dead. I'm just sorry. You cannot. The United States have no idea what the hell they're doing. And so I'm not expecting a listing anytime soon. Now, here's the thing that's going to be very, very interesting, because he did state that, it has to be in beta, which makes sense. Let me explain to you why this makes sense, you guys. Right now, the SEC is trying to attack everyone. Oh, let me backtrack. Gary Gensler stated in a recent interview, I think it was ABC or whatever, I'm not sure, but in a recent interview, he said that a lot of projects are leaving the United States and they're going to other places and, creating their projects. Now, he stated that, if I'm not mistaken, he used one of the countries, Malta, and he was like, everybody's going across seas, and I immediately thought, okay, so maybe the Holo organization is trying to do things the right way by going to the U.S. regulators and saying, hey, we are not a security, and at the moment, it's not, they can't prove that they're not a security, because there's really nothing to say whether they're security or not. So the SEC is really chasing everybody. And for what, I have no idea. Again, I believe that if you're going to have have regulations, you need to make sure that you're able to state whether something's a security or not. And the problem is that there's a problem with the Howey test, and the U.S. government just don't want to admit it. SEC doesn't want to admit that it has its faults, because it cannot equate to cryptocurrency. Now, going back to what I was about to say, when he stated that, I was like, you know what, that kind of makes sense. Let's break this down, people. If you purchase HOT in the United States of America, and the SEC is basically going to ask you, what does this do? Now, first off, I know I go on a lot of rabbit trails, but let me state this. I'm not pointing fingers at other projects. Actually, I am. But I'm not saying that other projects are wrong. But there's a lot of projects on Coinbase that are not in beta. They have zero utility whatsoever, and yet they're listed in the U.S. exchange. Just saying. They're going to have to make some clarity, because at the moment it still doesn't make sense why HOT is not available in the United States or major U.S. exchanges. Boggles my mind, but I digress. So what the SEC is going to do is the SEC is going to say, hey, why isn't this, why do you say this is not a security? What does it do? What is it utility? What is its utility? Well, you can't say that HOT is an IOU for Holofuel, because basically they'll break it down and say, wait, so you're selling this token on exchanges and it's an IOU. What are you doing with the funds that you're receiving the fiat currency for? And obviously that was what the green paper was for. By the way, this is a very positive video. I don't want anybody trying to jump down my throat. Please listen to it all the way through, and then you get a better understanding of where I'm going with this. And so they're going to ask, hey, well, what is a utility? Well, right now, HOT does not have a utility. It just doesn't. It's regular, normal, everyday cryptocurrency on Holochain. I mean on a blockchain actually. It's an ERC20 token. It's just one of those. But even the way it is right now has more utility than a lot of these damn projects that I'm seeing on Coinbase. So it's laughable. This obviously frustrates. This is a case where a organization is trying to do what's right and trying to go through normal means, and they're basically, even XRP, even Ripple, trying to go through the SEC, and the SEC still to this day. If you listen, I listen to a lot of Gary Gensler interviews and stuff like that, so I understand what's going on in his mind. And the way I've analyzed his mind is the fact that he's crazy.
Storage room, and down the hallway here we have another.
You have no idea what the hell he's doing. The United States government have no idea what the hell they're doing. If I get 2 days, and I'm saying 2 days because I need 1 day to fully understand all of the 4 things that make, I've already studied it, but I go deeper into it, that makes things in security, number 1. Number 2, I would then apply that and see how I can apply it closest to crypto. And then next, I would then apply it so that it will benefit my country. I don't understand what the hell's going on with the SEC. Something. I don't have a high IQ, so I have no idea what the hell they're doing over there. And the only thing I can conclude is that they're greedy. It's just greed. It's just a political statement. Everything is politics. Everything is lip service. Nothing gets done in the United States of America. And that's embarrassing. Anyway, we have a great country, but the leaders are inept. Just saying. So, sorry about that. Sorry about my little rant. Anyway, no, not really. Anyway, the point is that there's a lot going on behind the scenes. The whole organization is trying to do what's right. Now, let's get back to this whole security thing. The SEC is going to say, okay, what after beta, right? What makes this not a security now? Well, Holochain, the Holo organization, will then be able to say, well, it's attached to a utilization is the fact that it is tied to something that is really, I'm going to say this, really a commodity. So holo hosting is I believe it's a commodity. Why? Because it's energy being shared. We are using those energy. The people who have the holo ports are using the energy. So again, it's now dispersed across the world, and it's tied to the pricing of holo fuel. Now, the next thing the government is going to say, or the U.S. regulators are going to say is, okay, if it's tied to holo fuel, that's wonderful. That's great. What is your part in it? And the Holo organization will say, well, this is, as far as Holochain, remember, differentiate the two. Holochain is all open source out there. Okay, now there's Holo Fuel. Holo Fuel is a HAP that will be on Holochain. So remember that. At that point, I believe that Holo Fuel will be listed as a commodity, because the only way to earn Holo Fuel will be with the Holo hosting. Now, see where my mind is going here? People say, okay, well, what is that? How what has this got to do with the hot token? And they will say, well, I'm glad you asked. Basically, you can exchange your Holo Fuel, those who want service done they can buy the hot token, which is ERC20 token on the blockchain, and they can use that hot token and exchange it into hollow fuel, or they can do whatever they want with it. So the people who are requiring hosting are saying, you know what, I'm gonna buy some hot, I'm gonna exchange it into hollow fuel, and then once I exchange it into hollow fuel, I'll be able to pay someone else within the Holochain ecosystem and whatever I need. Right now, in the beginning, it's going to be holo hosting, right? So for hosting, so if they have hosting, the SEC is going to be okay. Well, let's break this down. Who gets the money when you're going to be able to give them or pay them money, right? And they're going to say, yeah. The Holo organization say, yeah, we have a lot in reserves. We have, I don't know, you can use Ether, you can get whatever back. They're going to have a lot of different currencies in reserve. At least that's how I'm getting it. Please, if I'm wrong, please help me out with that. And so a person in Argentina, in China, in Russia, in America, and all of the countries can say, well, I want to exchange my hollow fuel into this either fiat currency or hot token. Now, why I think it was smart, obviously I think it was smart. The devs, they created, not the devs, the whole organization made hot an ERC20 token. Well, that's because Ethereum is very, very, what's the word where you can use multi-chains on it. Anyway, the point is it can be diversified into many different things or easily transferred into anything, right? So that's why it's good to have an ERC20 token. A lot of projects are built on Ethereum. So this allows that most projects who are built on the Ethereum blockchain can look at Holochain and say, hey, well, you know what? I might want to switch over to Holochain, which I imagine there will be a few. Having said all of that, the Holo organization has created really two currencies. One that is stable, very stable, and the other will be used more of a store of value like Bitcoin. I'm not going into it as far as the specifics to that because I've already stated how I believe things will go down. So, going back to United States of America, well, it would just be smart to have this technology in the U.S. to combat a whole lot of things. I've talked about that on, I think my video, the Holochain, the Next Frontier, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure. But again, there we go. So, please, you guys, you have to understand, right now, hot is not, it has no utility. Once they go into beta, I believe it will have a utility, and that's once it goes to Holochain beta, I believe that it will have more of a utility. But if they're looking at whether if it's in beta or not, then yeah, it should definitely be a listing on exchanges pretty soon. If not, if they're looking for a full-fledged, it just got to have the real utility. But guess what? There's really no crypto out there that has real utility. Real utility. I'm sorry, I just don't see it. A lot of the projects of what they're doing can be done outside of the crypto space. You cannot. I don't know a crypto project or a cryptocurrency that has utility as much as Holo Fuel will be and Hot Token. So, those are my thoughts on that. Hopefully, we'll just have to see. I was hoping maybe sometime this year or early next year for a exchange listing, but I don't know. We'll just have to see. So I just wanted to bring that up. I am still concerned about new guys. There are more people. There are more people creating videos about Holochain, so that's great. That's good news for many of you guys out there who are educated, who know all about the Holochain project, who know all about the Holo organization. Please do me a favor when you go to these videos. Please correct them. Please inform them that Holochain is not a blockchain. I don't know how this is still being missed. It literally makes me want to rip my face off. Like, you don't know the difference between the DLTs. Like, there's a reason why I read directly from my website, Blockchain 101, the differences between the 4 DLTs or the 4 major DLTs, the ones that are trying to come, to come out. I just don't get it. So, I don't know. But please explain to a lot of these new YouTubers out there, especially when the price goes up, because it eventually will. And once the price goes up, it's going to be the same rigmarole as what happened last time. I went from 700 subscribers to 6,000 some subscribers, and then and then once the price goes up, videos, views, all of that stuff is going up. And then but at the time, everything was going down, except for a couple of times where Hot was going up, and everything else was just staying flat. But anyway, that's a story for another day. But having said all of that, we really got to understand that there's going to be a lot of people that purchases Hot that are only using it for it being on an exchange, hoping that the price will increase. And honestly, a lot of people are doing that. So I'm not faulting them but I do fault people for not educating themselves on exactly what they're getting themselves into. That's the issue I have. Because what happens is that we've already seen it. Hot price goes up. Everybody feels like everything is great. Hot price goes down. Oh, it's trash. Oh, it's a scam. Oh, it's not making me any money. Oh, blah, 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 blah. We get that all the time. It's the rise and fall. It's the same old stuff. Same thing with Bitcoin. We get this all the time. Oh, like right now, all hell's broken loose. Oh, woe is me. And then when the happening comes and the price goes back up, yes, look how much money I made. Oh, yeah, baby. And then it goes back down. Oh, I could have made so much money, but I didn't cash out. They're playing the whole cash out game, which I get. Look, people, just do your research. Understand what you're getting into. I have my own strategies. You have your own strategy of whenever you want to get out of the crypto market, get back into the crypto market, however you want to do it. At the end of the day, it's really hard. It's really too difficult to read what's happening in the crypto space. There's so much going on. There's so much confusion out there. And everyone wants to listen to somebody in a shirt and tie. Or somebody like, what's his face? Sam Brinkman-Fried. Or somebody like Mr. Wonderful, right? Like all of these people, Gareth Holiday, whatever his name is. All of these people, they're just guessing. Yes, they're going by charts. Some of them go by charts. But at the end of the day, as far as what project is going to make it, they're guessing. With no real research. And by the way, I trust my research. I'm going to sit back and as projects are completed, we'll see which completed project will have the most adoption, and I guarantee you it's going to be Holochain. I might have my I might be reserved in my excitement as far as timing, but I do understand that eventually they'll get it done. Eventually things will start moving forward. Eventually the whole organization will start developing into a real organization in which is very much educating and having a direct message for people. I do understand that there's a lot of people out there, especially over here in the United States, is like, hey, you know what? Honestly, I don't blame people from other countries or other businesses or organizations with real solutions leaving the United States of America, because at the moment, it's a clown show. Honestly, it just is. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I will probably make a couple of more videos. Remember, I'm really gonna wait until I see how things go. But remember, I've been a little bit dedicated to doing other stuff, and so that's why I haven't been making videos all the time. There's been a lot of buzz going on between last month and this month, and that was the reason why. As you guys seen, I've been making kind of videos on a regular. But we'll see what happens in the next couple of months, and then we'll move on from there. But anyways, as I always say, you guys, please, please, please do your own research, do your own research, do your own research. And last but not least, above all else out there in the world, please stay safe out there. Bye, you guys.